On to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match preview for Chelsea versus Everton coming up this weekend. Going into this one, obviously, off the back of a much needed 1-0 win against Brentford. Going into the game, a few results went our way last week. We've made up a bit of ground. Got to try and build a bit of momentum now. Terry, how are you feeling going into this one? We've got still a long way to go, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, we've been given a bit of a boost, haven't we, by the win and the fact that a couple of teams also in the relegation fight have not picked up points either or dropped points. Um, Obviously now we're facing a dead tough stretch of games. Starting with this one, I think all the away games are tough, but I think this one's a weird one because obviously Chelsea have won. I think the last three games they've picked up a bit of form now. Obviously got quality all throughout their squad, and I mean like world class players all over the place. Certainly much better than our players, but they're weird Chelsea at the minute. Like they lost to Southampton a few games ago, so you can't like write this one off as like, oh, let's just keep the scoreline down like we sort of did against Arsenal. I think it's there for us to go and like cause a shock, go and do something. Our record's not great at Chelsea, but Chelsea's record's not great this season. They don't seem to be comfortable under Potter just yet. And
He's been
yeah,
struggling more against the worst teams.
yeah, they seem to. Yeah, I can't get out their own way a little bit. Chelsea, and he hasn't settled on a lineup, and they lack a clear goal scorer. Although there's danger all over the team. I don't know. I mean, we've had the news that Calvert-Lewin's felt something. I don't think he was probably going to play anyway. He might have made the bench, but I wouldn't expect to see any different team than the one that played against Brentford. Obviously, my own personal bugbear, I'd prefer Connor Cody to Michael Keane, but I accept that's not going to be very likely at the minute. But yeah, same team, go again. I think the performance at Nottingham Forest showed that we can go away from home and put in a performance. Obviously, Chelsea might not be as bad as Forest were on the day, but we're relying on players like Takore, like Damari Gray to try and get us the goals, and crucially again set pieces because we haven't got any natural goal scorers in the team, so we're gonna have to make the most of what we can. But anything's a bonus there. We got a point there with Ellis Sims up front with the Branthwaite goal a couple of years. Was it last season? Yeah,
That
yeah,
feels like an
yeah,
eternity ago, doesn't it, when you think about it?
yeah. 2 managers ago. It was Benitez game, wasn't it? So it can be done. Like anything we get there is a bonus because I think the main thing is going to be the home games. But we're going to have to probably be big boys and win an away game. And this one doesn't look like it's one of the more likely ones. But you never know. Southampton would have thought that.
Well, it all depends on how we apply ourselves at the end of the day. Like if we make life difficult for them, like you say, they're not in the best form. Well, they've improved, like you say, they've been a bit hit and miss this season. So you never know. We might be able to spring a surprise, but it all depends on what we do. If we apply ourselves well, one thing we'll definitely have to do against Chelsea that we didn't do against Forest is just cut out the silly mistakes. We conceded two soft goals in that game, I thought. So we're going to have to definitely be better at the back, going away from home against Chelsea. Like you say, there is threats across the field, but we've got to be a bit tighter at the back.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, especially the second goal for Forest. Where Takore took out the whole of the frigging midfield with that one mistake and left the back four exposed. Chelsea don't need any help to score against your team with players like they've got, so you don't give them any help. Look after the ball a bit better and crucially take our chances when they come. Because one thing that hurt us probably more than the Takore mistake was the Damari Gray, P roller when it was where flashed across the box to him and he should have scored to make it 3. I think it would have been 3-1 at that point. He could have finished the game. If we get chances like that at Stamford Bridge, we're going to have to take them because we're not going to get many. They won't gift us goals like Forest did, or at least you wouldn't expect them to. But I'm not going into this one completely down. Obviously, I don't have much faith in us winning any away game, given our recent, last few years of away games. But I just got a feeling about this one that it's not the hiding that what we all knew Arsenal away was going to be. I feel like there is something there for us if we apply ourselves because Chelsea are very hit and miss, so you never know.
Yeah, I think this one, like, the table doesn't lie. Arsenal top for a reason, and Chelsea at ninth or tenth, wherever they are, for a reason. I think the result, the result's business, and if you know they can ship goals and points to other teams down the bottom, then you can do it to us.
Yeah, hopefully you see these results a lot. Obviously, we had one with the Arsenal Goodison game where these relegation the relegation teams from like 12th down. We're all you want every other team is looking at all the other teams' results, going, I need them to lose there, need them to lose there, and then you see Bournemouth beat Liverpool and Southampton beat Chelsea, and you think, right, we need to do that as well. We need to get a shock result that demoralises the opposite, the other team's fan base. Because how many times in the last few weeks have Everton got like got a spring in the step, and then you look at the other results on the same weekend, the day after maybe, or whatever, and you go, oh, like the others, you know, Wolves have beat someone or Bournemouth have. We need to do that this weekend because other teams will be looking at our game and going, right, we can make ground on Everton there or put Everton behind us. We need to try our best to, we've got to start winning away games. And this isn't one of the ones you'd expect us to do it, but it's 90 minutes, 11v11. I'm pulling out all the old cliches, but, Southampton getting something off Chelsea gives me hope.
Yeah, we've got to really, I mean, we've got to just start doing better away from home, full stop. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think our performances away, I think the Nottingham Forest performance was pretty decent. I think if we can produce something more along those lines, I think we'll give ourselves a chance at least. Because, our performances away from home haven't been good enough for a long time. I think, to be honest, that Forest away game is probably one of the better away performances I've seen for quite some time from us. So,
Yeah, it
like,
was definitely one of the least impotent, wasn't it? Where we didn't, sometimes you just turn up to get rolled over Everton in away games, but yeah, I, I feel like there's something there for us. Obviously, you go into the international break after this, and you could really imagine the morale boost just as supporters if we go into that international break not in the bottom three. If we go into that 2 week break and we're in the bottom three, it really does just fester then in the minds of people and gets people down. But if we're not in it, it makes people feel more positive and confident and just helps everything. And I know it's might be a lot to ask to win this game, but if you can, the next three games, if you can get 4 points out of them, like a win, a draw, and probably a defeat somewhere, we'll be looking pretty good considering, the way things are shaping up. But most people are looking at it where 4 wins and a couple of draws, maybe that sorts us out. But if any points on the weekend will put us ahead of schedule, frankly, because we've got not that many games left, so we need to start making every result count.
absolutely. And I think the thing is, I think I said this about this time last year. Obviously, we had a far inferior coach in charge, but that the international break the chance to get on the training grounds, and we didn't really make the most of that because, like I say, the coach wasn't really good enough. But it's 2 weeks then after this game for John Dyche to really put the players through the paces. We haven't got that many internationals in the team, so a lot of players will still be reporting for training, and hopefully that gets a bit more of Dyche's methods into him because what I've seen from Dyche so far has been really impressing me. If he can get a bit more of that in, like drill it deeper into the players and really get his methods ingrained in them over that 2 week break, then that could stand us in even better stead after the break.
Yeah, it all helps, and it's another 2 weeks for Dominic
Oh,
Calvert
yeah,
possibly get more fitness. I mean, at this point, it's you can't be relying on him to come back because it's so it's folly. He's been injured for 2 years for the best part of, and it's not his fault. Even though people get very frustrated with him, which I understand, but it isn't his fault. He's been mismanaged by previous managers, and he wants to play despite what people may think. anything we can, use him for will be a bonus. Like, he's when you look at our squad, he's the one key player who we just haven't got access to. A player with a goal scoring record, who's got a profile that's unlike anyone else at the club. Another 2 weeks of building up his fitness, if he can, if it that's the little knock or whatever it is that it's mentioned in the press conference is just a very minor thing. Hopefully, he'll be ready to play after that. We can utilize him and help us in our fight to stay in the division. But if not, we're gonna have to just get on with it and find goals elsewhere. Tamari Gray's made that central striking role his own the last couple of games. He looks well better than Mope against Forest and against Brentford. This will be a real test, though, away from home against a very good team with a very, very good centre backs. He's not going to get much change out of Thiago Silva, is he? But he's
Well,
going to have to do it.
he won't at all because I think Silva's injured.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's good. Well, still, I didn't know
The other
that.
defenders are still pretty solid though. So
Yeah, that fills me with a bit more optimism because Thiago Silva's just a Rolls Royce of a player, but I'm glad he's not
yes,
playing
yeah,
with that. Well, yeah, Damari Gray, key man, because he's the only other one who's got like a real goal threat in him naturally. He seems to worry defenders and turn them around, and it's his shit now until Calvert Lewin's back, and yeah, if he comes back at all. So go into this international break with a positive result would be a massive boost for everyone.
yeah, I'd love a win.
I'd love a win. I'd love a point, but a win, you'd have to take that momentum. You'd just go, right, we're not going down. If we win away at Stamford Bridge, you'd have to go, right, well, there's no chance we're going down after doing that. We've got to stay up now. But I don't think the sky's going to fall in if we do lose. We've just got to, make sure we get the wins before the last game of the season. The only table that counts is the last one. But going into the international break, not in the relegation zone, will be huge, for morale, if nothing else.
Absolutely, yeah. But with that in mind, obviously we'll finish up here. The prediction.
I'm going to go with a really boring, you know, shitbag answer of 1-1.
1-1.
Not a defeat, not a win, a 1-1. Damari Gray to score.
I'm gonna be even more boring than you. Nil
0-0.
nil. Nil nil. Dykes brutalist football at its best. 90 minutes of lock and load, lump it up.
Soviet era football, industrial football.
Yeah, old school football, up and unders non-stop all game.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that anyway, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like I say, me and Terry have both gone for very boring predictions. If you've got anything a bit more exotic, get them coming in. Drop us a comment, give the video a like, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in on the Toffee Blues.